Hello, my name is Sean Earhart and I'm one of the children's ministers at Pinedale Church. I want to thank you for taking a few minutes to watch this video. I have a question for you. If I were to offer you $1 million to jump out of an airplane without a parachute on, would you do it? Most of us would give a resounding no to that question. I mean, come on, after all, what is $1 million to us if we're dead? That might be the right answer, but what you just did is what we all tend to do when we hear a question. We base our answer on our own preconceived ideas and perceptions. The truth is, we don't have enough information or details to make an educated decision. We often make decisions or draw conclusions without all of the necessary details. Many of us, me included, are naturally wired to make quick decisions, and that can sometimes come in very handy. I know I'm like that, and most of the time it serves me well. But in this case, our lack of patience might have cost us a bundle of money. What if I were to tell you that I would give you $1 million to jump out of an airplane without a parachute on, but then I tell you the plane is on the ground. It's not running, and it's a small two-seater that's very low to the ground, and there's a big air cushion, not an air conditioner, but an air cushion underneath the plane that's gonna catch you. It's gonna break your fall, and you're gonna gently land, and there's virtually no possible way you're gonna get hurt. Now, would you take that deal? I don't know anyone who wouldn't. I want you to keep that illustration in your mind when I ask you this next question. And remember, don't make a quick decision or draw any conclusions without hearing all of the necessary details. I want to ask you to volunteer in the children's ministry at Pinedale. Now, hold on, remember, don't jump to any conclusions and don't immediately go to the no, I wouldn't dare jump out of an airplane without a parachute on. I know what you're thinking. When you hear the idea of working with kids, you might think that it's like purgatory on earth, that it's a ton of work, that the kids are abusive and mean and they're gonna beat you up, and they're like these little rugrats who are trying to take over the world, and you're standing in their way and they're gonna plow over you. Several years ago, there was this movie that Hollywood put out that was called Babysitters Beware. I bet a lot of people think the trailer from that movie is what volunteering in the children's ministry is like. Let's take a look at that trailer.
Babysitters beware.
Help! Help!
Say, let me out of here.
Sorry, Charlie.
Until he finally meets his match.
I'll be your babysitter now.
I'm going to be the worst kid ever. My family. I'm being kidnapped! Child abuse!
I'm not gonna let no little kid beat me.
It's a nice jacket.
Don't even think about touching it. You wouldn't. Hey, what's that sound, kid?
That's just paint. Onto a motorcycle.
For some of you, that might be one of the mental pictures you get in your mind when you think about working with kids. But the truth is, working with the kids at Pinedale is amazing. We have so much fun together. I've been in children's ministry for more than 30 years now. And I gotta tell you, of all the tens of thousands of kids I've worked with all across the United States and in other countries, we have some of the very best kids in the world. We have so much fun together, and it is so rewarding. Our volunteers worship with the kids. We study and learn together, we play, we laugh, we build relationships, we create memories, we form these bonds that can't be broken. We share our lives with them in a way that fills a void in our hearts that we didn't even know existed. Our volunteers have these unique bonds with the kids that can't be broken, and they never would have ever formed these relationships with the kids had these adults not taken a leap of faith and, well, jumped out of an airplane without a parachute on. Several years ago, we put together a video to try to capture the essence of our children's ministry. I want you to see the smiles and the joy on the faces of our volunteers. Check this out. Did you see what I'm talking about? That right there is what I'm inviting you to be a part of. Our children's ministry at Pinedale is not a babysitting service. It is a ministry with a purpose and with a plan that was given to us by God. We have a 4-part purpose with our approach to our children's ministry. Those 4 parts can be found in our purpose statement. Our purpose, or our goal for the children's ministry, is to develop within each child the desire to find God in a personal way and to help them grow in their faith and to challenge them to discover their ministry as they share His love with others. Did you notice the 4 big words? Those are our 4 big purposes: desire, grow, discover, share. Now, for the kids, they can't remember those 4 big words, so we illustrate them with body parts: heart, head, hands, and feet. Heart, head, hands, feet. In other words, desire, grow, discover, share. Our number 1 goal for the kids is to give them a desire to love God in a personal way. We want them to have a heart for Jesus. Isn't that the most important thing all of us need? Yeah. In order to accomplish this goal, we created classes like Kids Church and Preschool Worship that are held every Sunday at 10:45 a.m. During this hour, our volunteers participate with the kids in a kid-friendly worship service that has singing, prayer, communion, and a lesson led by myself, April Showers, or another key leader. As a helper in this program, you will sit among the kids and lead by example. You'll help with crowd control, and you'll ensure their safety until parents pick them up. No preparations required, you just show up, love on the kids, and be an example for them to follow. Once kids have started that relationship with God and Jesus, we start working on our next goal, and that is the head. We want to give them an opportunity to grow in their faith. In other words, we want them to gain knowledge through studying the Bible. This is why we developed age and grade level Sunday school classes that are held every Sunday during the 9:15 a.m. service. This is when we have our volunteers teach an age-appropriate lesson that we provide that guides them through a strategic plan that helps them learn and understand the Bible. Each class has a teacher and an assistant. The teacher is responsible for using our curriculum to prepare a lesson that consists of reading the Bible, telling a Bible story, doing an object lesson, or perhaps a craft or other activities that help reinforce the lesson. Each class also has an assistant teacher who's responsible for just being there to provide help to the lead teacher. The assistant teacher greets kids when they arrive, helps with crowd control, may go get supplies that the teacher needs. She'll aid, or he or she will aid the teacher in doing tasks, escorting kids to the bathroom, helping them with their crafts, etc. Our next goal is the hands. The word that we use for that is discover. With kids, it's hands. For adults, we can say discover. We want each child to discover how they can serve Jesus. In other words, we want them to find ways that they can serve Jesus with their hands by doing their own kinds of ministry. For some kids, like our preschoolers, we accomplish this goal on Wednesday nights by offering preschool choir. For our elementary kids, we accomplish this through seasonal programs like Leave It Better, Love Your Neighbor, Eyes Open, or an occasional summer musical. These service projects allow kids opportunities to serve others, and as they do, they end up discovering their own God-given abilities and talents that they can use for ministry. And then number 4, our final goal is represented by the feet. We want to teach kids to share their faith with others through evangelism. This is where recess comes in. Not school recess, but church recess. Our Wednesday night program starts at 7 p.m. and is designed to give elementary kids the opportunity to invite their friends to church, where they are guaranteed to have a good time in a program we call recess. This high energy hour is full of excitement, lots of games, lively music, and a short lesson. It's the perfect recipe that leaves first-time visitors hungry for more and more and wanting to come back. Kids are broken up into small groups by grades and then are led by our leaders or our volunteers through 2 segments of the night. 30 minutes of our time is spent in a class giving a short lesson where the kids learn about different virtues or life lessons that will help guide them to have a better life. The other 30-minute segment is spent in recreation. This is where kids play high-energy team-building games with our recreation leader. This also helps to create an atmosphere where kids naturally can develop new friendships. If you're sitting around a table listening to an instructor, you're not going to build a friendship. But when you're playing games, the kids have a blast together. This leaves them wanting more and coming back. This program here is what we use to lay the foundation that makes our visitors comfortable with coming back to church on a Sunday. to get more. And what do? We try to get them to goal number 1, and that is to get them to have a heart or a desire to love Jesus. Volunteers who help on Wednesday nights are assigned to a specific age or grade and are responsible for preparing a 30-minute lesson and activity with their class. We provide the framework and the curriculum to do this. The volunteers will also participate with the kids as they play games in the gym with our recreation leader. Our small group leaders are also responsible for ensuring the safety of the kids by following all of our security guidelines with dropping off and picking up the kids. Each small group has a lead teacher and an assistant. Many of our groups are led by husband and wife teams. Not all of them, but many of them are. I think this is a great opportunity for couples to serve together. That right there rounds out our 4 goals of the children's ministry. Everything we do, every class, every program, every activity is strategically designed to give us balance and to meet one of those goals. As you can see, our volunteers are not babysitters. They have a purpose and they have a plan to actually minister to the kids. And I want you to be a part of this ministry. Volunteers who work in the children's ministry make a year-long commitment that starts in September, August, and kind of goes around to the next school year. We ask our Sunday morning helpers to work either part-time, meaning they do every other week, or to work full-time, meaning they work every single week. We ask our Wednesday night helpers to work every single week. However, you do get a couple weeks off at Thanksgiving and a couple off at Thanksgiving, and you get the entire summer off. So you end up only working a little more than half of the Wednesday nights out of the entire year. All volunteers are required to fill out a volunteer application, go through an interview, provide references, and have a background check completed. There you have it. That's the foundation of the children's ministry. And that's my sales pitch to you, to ask you to consider helping out in the children's ministry. So how about it? Now that you have a better understanding of what we do, are you willing to jump out of an airplane without a parachute on? Right now, I want to ask you to text me at 336-408-9532 and tell me that you are interested in talking further with me about helping out. What goal did I tell you about, or what program did I describe that piqued your interest? Or what service hour do you have free and you would be willing to help during that hour? Send me that text now. I'll send you a link to the volunteer application. You can fill it out, and let's meet sometime in the next few days or the next week and talk about a few more details. After that, I'll give you a few ideas of what you can do, and then I'll give you a few days to pray about your decision. And soon, you'll be joining our children's ministry team. Hey, thanks for taking a little while to watch this video. I love you guys. Bye-bye.